I'm interested to know, why did Wack 100 wanted to pay Keefe D's bond? I wonder why. Cause I know Mr. Wack 100 always talks shit about Tupac. This is way before he got famous and even became, you know what I'm saying, a manager for like 6ix9ine, The Game, and Blueface and all that. He was unpopular. He was just starting to get on the, broadcast scene, YouTube scene, and all that. But look what it says here. Cash Jones, also known as music executive Wack 100, is an acknowledged history of legal issues and past incarcerations. He was in prison for the first 5.5 years of his son's life, a fact he has openly discussed. Specific legal issues and allegations associated with him include past convictions and a separate case involving a different Jones. Court records mention prior conviction for second-degree robbery, assault, and felon in possession of a firearm. While it's common to find multiple individuals with the same name in legal documents, Wack 100 has personally mentioned being in prison for a significant period. Assault lawsuit. In 2021, Wack 100 was sued for assault by Ken Lawson, who claimed Jones knocked him and his wife unconscious. Tupac Shakur case. In 2024, Wack 100 offered to post bail for Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, who is charged with Tupac Shakur's murder. A judge denied the request, citing concerns that Jones and Davis might be trying to profit from the crime and that Jones might be a middleman for an unnamed third party. Things that make you go, why would he want to pay Keefe D's bond? Is Wack 100 included? You know what I'm saying? Is he some type of way, shape, or form involved within Tupac's murder? I didn't heard any name of Wack 100 being involved in that case. Orlando Anderson and Keefe D and a couple others, you know what I'm saying? But Orlando Anderson is dead. Keefe D's already old, already in his deathbed. But also Reggie White Jr., who was a crooked police officer at the time. But look what it says here. RICO case against Eugene Big U Henley Jr. and others. Wack 100 was mentioned multiple times in court documents. The documents contain allegations from other parties that he was a police informant, a confidential source member 2. Damn, number 2? Really? And was caught on a wiretap conspiring to commit murder. Wack 100 has vehemently denied these accusations. Firearm possession. Court documents have referenced an instance where he was caught in Texas with firearms. What happened with that case? I remember Byron Blake did a video about that. What happened with that case? You said that they dropped that case? No, sir. They haven't dropped that case at all. So what happened to that, Wack? And they also said these incidents highlight a history of involvement in and around criminal justice matter, both personal and professionally. Current status. As of late 2024 and 2025, various claims about new arrest warrants for terrorist threats and conspiracy to commit murder have circulated among figures in the hip-hop community, but no formal charges are confirmed or confirmation of arrests have been publicly made as of March 2025 related to these new claims. It is important to distinguish Cash Jones Wack 100 from Atlanta rapper Cash Out Jones Gibson, who was convicted in July 2025 for charges related to a sex trafficking operation, including rape. Damn! Wow! What this shit crazy. What? Wack 100, real name, Cash McRoy Jones. Occupation, American American music manager and recording executive who has managed rappers such as The Game, Blueface, and 6ix9ine, like I said before. Notable associations: he has founded record labels like 100 Entertainment and the Cash Money West subdivision of Cash Money Records. He has also been involved in a number of public controversies. Cash McRoy Jones, born April 7, 1977, known professionally as Wack 100, is an American music manager and recording executive. He co-founded the record label. Yeah, that's why he lost it. He doesn't have nobody no more. He's just a big old rat that's out there snitching on everybody and never shows no paperwork. But my thing is this: where in hell do you come and try to get Keefe D out on bond when supposedly you're not even involved in that case? Things that make you go, Did you want to help Keefe D? Was you part of that plot? Did you engage with Keefe D at that time? Because we know that you was Shook Boy, Do Boy. You was his delivery boy. He left you outside in the car, sitting there watching his car while he went in the club and party with the boys. You had that much hatred towards Tupac. And I know you talk so much shit about Tupac, how he was broke, how he, you know what I'm saying, he wasn't living that life, how he wasn't no gangster. This is way before. I'm talking about 7-10 years ago when Wack 100 started, you know what I'm saying, started broadcasting and doing, live streams and YouTube and Facebook and shit like that, and Twitter. This man has been talking so much shit about Tupac when he first started. That's how he got his, his leverage, and that's how he was able to get as big. And once he did, he stopped mentioning Tupac. And don't forget, him and Reggie White Jr. are friends. And Reggie White was the security guard of Death Row. Real quick motherfucker that he basically set Tupac and Suge Knight up, you know what I'm saying? Because he was the one that was in charge of making sure that Tupac Shakur, especially Tupac Shakur and Suge Knight, was safe, you know what I'm saying? Him being the leader and him being in charge of all the bodyguards, you know what I'm saying, that Suge used to pay out of Death Row. And most of them were crooked cops that worked with the LAPD. You know what I'm saying? And Tupac didn't trust Reggie White Jr. He hated Reggie White Jr. Hated him. And Reggie White Jr. told the other security guards, bodyguards, to not carry no concealed weapons. And they were like, hold on. If we're protecting Tupac and Suge Knight, we're supposed to be carrying weapons. What's going on? But he gave the order of no bodyguards to be able to carry any concealed weapons or firearms. And that's how it went that night when Tupac and Suge Knight was shot up, and Tupac was shot 5 times. And you know what I'm saying? He died 7 days later. And that's the reason why I tell you, there is no type of respect when it comes to this dude. But I also try to get information to see his past, Wack 100. And this is what it said. There is no credible news report of evidence to support the claim that music executive Cash Wack 100 Jones was arrested or caught with 5 keys of cocaine. News reporter mentioned Cash Jones, Wack 100's real name, prominently in connection with the Tupac Shakur murder case, where he paid a portion of the bail for the suspect, Dwayne Keefe D. Davis. Court hearings involved scrutiny of the source of the bail money, but the discussion focused on potential businesses, deals for interviews or false documentation regarding the source of funds, not drug charges against Jones himself. Other news stories mention Wack 100 discussing the drug-related charges of other artists he has managed, such as Blueface and Fetty Wap, but not his own arrest for cocaine possession. That means that this man is a federal informant. I could not find nothing on this man. But thanks to Deuce and thanks to most scandalous Los Angeles TV and everybody else that's exposing this man and got the paperwork just like Byron Blake, that this man is exposed. And I'm going to tell you something. I know that this dude, every person that is involved with him in his circle and his environment, rather they end up in federal prison, in the jail system, or in custody, fighting for their lives, while he's out here talking about this nigga a snitch, this nigga a snitch, this nigga a snitch. Where's the paperwork, bruh? Where's the paperwork of all the snitches that you be talking about? You need to talk about your own fucking problems and situations, and talk about how many people you snitched on and how many people you have railroaded and blackmailed for you to be free and still work for your handler. Because you got a handler, you got to respond to somebody, you got to cooperate with somebody, and it's that powerful person that whenever you get out of line, like most scandalous Los Angeles TV said, if you don't answer and if you don't do as they say, they're going to go ahead and give you that message just to let you know, boy, you better do what we say or we're going to put you out there and you're going to be out of business. You understand what I'm saying? And also, Deuce produced, you know what I'm saying, the affidavit and paperwork, real documentation on how you said that you was afraid for your life and that, you know what I'm saying, that you wanted to make sure that Deuce don't touch you in any type of shape, way, or form. So you put him on paperwork because you was afraid for your life, you fucking piece of shit. This is the shit I'm talking about. This man acts gangster, but he don't care about Bloods, he don't care about Crips, he don't care about nothing. And the dudes that are rolling with him, I'm gonna tell y'all like this, bruh, y'all need to get away from this dude. This dude is going to humiliate each and one of you. Y'all like puppets, you know what I'm saying? Whatever this man says, y'all do it. Bro, haven't y'all seen enough already to know that this man is working with the police, that he's a federal informant? Remember, a federal informant, they don't supply paperwork of who he brought down or who he snitched on. But he's been wiretapped. And there's other charges and accusations and allegations towards him, allegedly, that this man has recorded others and given the evidence and proof to lock him up, like Lou Can, Big U, and several others. And by mistake, in one of his lives, he decided to put something out of his wallet, and I think he did it intentionally, on purpose. And as you can see, it's a badge. And then this motherfucker wants to talk about, oh, if y'all can prove that I'm the police, I'll give you $5,000. Bitch, you don't even make that type of money. You only make about $1,000, $2,000 every episode when you go to the No Jumper. Puerto Flaco, DJ Academics makes more money than you. Adam 22 make more money than you. What is you talking about? And this is my thing. You wanted to pay thousands of dollars to get Keefe D out. There's something in that story that just don't add up. Why would you want to get Keefe D out of prison? Were you scared that he was going to go ahead and cooperate with the police, that you was involved? That you too had, a significant participation in the murder of Tupac Shakur? That's weird. Why would anybody want to pay a big amount of a large bail to get a person out when supposedly you was down with Death Row, you was down with Suge Knight, and you know how Suge Knight was about Tupac. He loved Tupac. Death Row was Tupac. And, Snoop Dogg and everybody was pissed the fuck off because Suge Knight just wanted Tupac. That's all he talked about. Why? Because the impact that Tupac left in the culture and just the fucking greatness that he brought in his music. And you never met Tupac. You and Tupac never vibed, never chilled. No. Tupac ain't even know who you was, bruh. But you're sitting out here lying on Tupac. And I'm talking about way back. I'm talking about years ago when Wack 100 started coming out on broadcast and he started coming out, with his YouTube channel and all that shit. This man literally is happy that he's a police officer. And he is showing the world that he really is. Like 600. Both of these motherfuckers are so under the dirt, ungrateful son of a bitches. You know what I'm saying? How the hell you gonna represent the streets, but at the same time, you representing police? So it's like y'all the puppets. Y'all are the slaves of the police and the Jew. And the Jew tells you what to do. And they like it. Like most scandalous Los Angeles TV says. They love when you talk on black crimes, when you disrespect your brother, when you disrespect your sister, when you clown on them, when you shame them. They love it. But once you open your mouth about certain things that you can't say, they on your ass, boy. They on your ass. So make sure that you cooperate with your handlers. If not, that'll be your last, homie. I'm letting you know right now. But I'm still intrigued. Why the fuck would this man want to pay the bail for Keefe D? If you didn't have nothing to do with the Tupac murder, if you wasn't even involved, but as I could see, you was mentioned plenty of times in the Tupac murder. So that further lets me know that maybe you was in the plot, maybe you set the tone, maybe you was within the plan to sabotage Tupac and murder him. I don't know. I can't say that because I wasn't there. And I'll be lying if I say that I know. But you see, rats like you, bitch ass niggas like you, fuck ass niggas like you, you're gonna get what you deserve. Cause rats and people like yourself are so degrading, so disgusting, a fucking disgrace. And God doesn't like ugly. You're gonna get yours, man. All that tough talk that you do on the phone, you sound like a microphone gangster to me. And I saw one of your fights, fighting that white boy in the parking lot. That shit was so hilarious. The punch that you threw, my little niece or sister hits harder than that and punch harder than that. But now we going to this dude right here, Mr. Keefe D. Mr. Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, who was paid or was told by Puff Daddy, it's public records, this ain't me snitching, it's public records, that he stated that Puff Daddy wanted Tupac dead, and he was willing to pay $1 million. So Keefe D and the boys, you know what I'm saying, they were gangsters in the streets, you know what I'm saying, they wanted that money. But years went by after Tupac and Biggie was already dead, and they didn't receive a fucking dime from Puff Daddy because Mr. Dwayne Keefe D. Davis stated himself, I should have never done this fucking shit. Now my life is all fucked up and I never got paid. It came out of his mouth. You understand what I'm saying? This man literally said that Puff Daddy never gave him a cent. He promised half when it was done, and he promised half once he knew that, you know what I'm saying, Tupac was gone. And it ain't happened. And 30 years later, is when they find this, I say about 20-something, 30 years, is when they find this man to be the main suspect of the Tupac murder. Whether Wack 100 comes in all this, what type of significance does Wack 100 has to do with Tupac's murder? Being implicated and being called multiple times in the case itself. Well, Wack 100 is hiding. Maybe he wanted to get Keefe D out because he was scared, nervous. It doesn't make any sense, but it makes all the sense in the world. This man probably was involved in Tupac's murder. That's why he wanted to pay this man's bond to tell this man don't talk, because maybe Keefe D was gonna take everybody with him if he went down. But check this out. Dwayne Keefe D. Davis is a former Southern California gang leader who has been charged with 1 count of murder with a deadly weapon for his alleged role in the 1996 killing of rapper Tupac Shakur. He is the only person ever charged in connection with the long unsolved murder. Key details. Current status. Davis is currently in custody at the Clark County Detention Center in Las Vegas and has pleaded not guilty to murder charges. His request for bail has been denied due to concerns about the source of the funds, role in the killing. Prosecutions allege David was involved in the Tupac's murder, but in 2019, memoir Compton street legend that he was in the car from which the shots were fired and provided the gun. He now claims those admissions were for entertainment purposes and that he has evidence proving he was not in Las Vegas at the time. Trial date. His murder trial has been postponed and is now scheduled to begin on February 9th, 2026, after his defense requested more time to prepare and investigate new evidence. Other legal issues. While waiting the murder trial, David was found guilty in April 2025 of battery by a prisoner and challenged to fight or an altercation with another inmate in the late 2024. He was sentenced to a minimum of 16 months and a maximum of 40 months for this offense with credit time served. Linked to Diddy, Davis has claimed in his book and interviews that Sean Diddy Combs offered him, like I said, $1 million to kill Tupac and Suge Knight, a claim that resurfaces during the investigation but is not the basis for his current charges. See what I'm saying? And as you can see, on September 29, 2023, 27, you see, I was close. 27 years after Tupac's murder, Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, Anderson's uncle, was arrested after being indicted by a grand jury for the first-degree murder of Shakur. Wow. Yeah, you see, why is Wack so persistent, and he was so persistent at the time, in making sure that he got Keefe D. out on bail, which the judge denied it and denied the request? What is it about that just don't sit well with me? It just doesn't make any sense. But one thing that does make sense, and it makes all the sense in the world, is that Mr. Wack 100, Mr. Cash Jones, Mr. C2 back, hated Tupac with a passion. He talked so much shit about Tupac, you will be disgusted just to hear all the negative and fucked up shit he used to say about Tupac. And Tupac was already dead. So this man was talking about a dead person without that person even trying to defend himself. Talking about that he was broke, that Suge was playing him, that he was a studio gangster, he wasn't living that life, that he got checked plenty of times. But Suge Knight says a different story. Suge Knight said Tupac almost fought everybody on death row. Tupac used to slap box Snoop Dogg and slap him up, and Snoop Dogg would be like, man, stop, man, stop, man. Tupac be like, man, stop being a bitch. Yeah, this is Suge Knight words. So I don't know what Wack is trying to implicate or what his pattern is, but we already know. This is the biggest rat, the godfather of the internet. Streamer, broadcaster, you know what I'm saying? Just a person that is a snitch journalist and snitch speaker. I can't say a motivational speaker or an inspiring speaker because he's not that. He's a snitching rat informant speaker. He speaks for the people that arrest us, that take us to jail, that put us in prison, that gives us multiple years. You know why? Because he's a slave to them. He's a fucking clown, and he's a fool, and he's a puppet for them. And let me tell you one thing about Mr. Reggie White. And y'all need to know this for real. Check me out now. This dude, when Suge went to prison, this dude stole his money. He was able to flip the script and get the building that Suge owned and turn it into somebody else's name. And then he brought it from that person, going to his yacht, to his mansions, going to the Staples Center and the Lakers Stadium, courthouse, and took the seat where him, Suge Knight, and Tupac, and others that were celebrities that chill with Suge Knight will go to because they had that spot already bought. You know what I'm saying? Death Row was making hundreds of millions of dollars. It was the greatest music record label at the time. Him and Dr. Dre made $500 million. And half of it was Dr. Dre's and half was Suge Knight's. But Dre got tired and fed up of Suge playing him allegedly, and he couldn't take it no more. So he told Suge Knight, just keep the 250. And look what Dre is at right now. That is legacy. That is greatness. That is GOATness right there. But back to this fool right here. Him and his father were police officers, crooked police officers. And they weren't the original crooked police officers. These were deep, corrupted, dirty police officers. And this dude right here made sure that he took everything from Suge Knight. That's why he's living the way he's living. Because he took everything from Suge Knight and put it under somebody else's name. And then he went and bought it from them. So nobody will suspect that it was him that did the transaction and did the fucked up deals that he did when Suge Knight trusted him, just like the night when Tupac got murdered. This motherfucker told everybody, all the bodyguards, do not carry a weapon. And guess what happened to some of the bodyguards? They got killed. Just like some of the outlaws, they got killed. So you see, there's more to the story of what people think there's not. And my thing is, did Wack and Reggie White were planning to take out and to bail out, which was denied when it comes to Keefe D? Because all three of them were involved in some way, somehow. Things that make you go, But you see, Keefe D's trial starts on February 9, 2026. We'll find out from there and see where it goes. I know a rat from a mile away. I could smell a rat from a mile away. And this dude, he got the right name for himself, Wack 100, because you whack and that's just being 100. You got the perfect name for yourself. But I'm going to tell you something, payback's a bitch, karma's a bitch. Whatever you do in life, it will come back to haunt you. And if Keefe D decides to open his mouth and say that you was involved as well, sorry Wack 100, we will see the ending of you. It just caught my eye. And then he sit right with me. Why would you want to post bail? Why? What do you have that's implicated in the Tupac's murder? You wasn't even famous, you wasn't even big, you was just a delivery boy for Suge Knight. But I know you hated Tupac. You hated Tupac from the beginning. Because when you first started, which was so many years ago, oh my God, I could go way back. I was in Atlanta at that time. That's how long you've been streaming. And you started talking bad about Tupac, negative things about Tupac. And just like I described earlier, you basically try to destroy Tupac's legacy and who Tupac was as a person. You made him seem like he was a coward, he was soft, he wasn't about that life, and he wasn't an inspirational rapper, that he was a piece of shit, that he was broke. But now, you're the one that's backed up against the wall. Because if Keefe D decides to say and open his mouth, and if you was involved, allegedly, if you was involved, that's the ending for you, my boy. So you better strap up and you better go ahead and, you know what I'm saying, get them lawyers and break that bread so you can go ahead, suit it up. Because You might get fucked up if Keefe D implicates you and puts you in the same scene in the murder, or if you was with the plot or you planned it with them. I don't know. But it just smells strange to me. It was strange to me. It didn't sit right with me. Why the fuck would you want to pay this man bail? Why? But this is the ending of my video. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this rat, this piece of shit. And you know what I'm saying? I'll go ahead and feedback, give my comments, and tell you how I feel. Because people like this can't be trusted. People like this cannot be respected. And don't y'all find it weird? Nobody ever did a video of this man wanting to pay Dwayne Keefe D. Davis bail, which was denied by the judge because she felt that they would profit from it all. Which was, you know what I'm saying, very smart from the judge to do. Very smart. But y'all go ahead and leave y'all comments down below. Tell me what it is. And just like I said, I'll go ahead and comment back and we could talk about this. But y'all don't find it suspicious? Yeah, I'm using Umar Johnson's voice. Y'all don't find that suspicious at all? Why would this man want to pay for Keefe D's bond? How is he connected? And his name was brought up multiple times in the Tupac's murder. Why? Man, it's something to think about. But y'all go ahead and leave y'all comments down below. There's your boy Jaloso, a.k.a. Chico Black. Y'all already know Chico Black, a.k.a. Jaloso. Y'all hit me up, man. God bless. Peace.